Just 2 races remaining in the 2011 Formula One season. Daniel Ricciardo finds himself involved in a tremendous four-way squabble for a Toro Rosso race seat next year. Now, at the moment, he seems favourite to take one of those places, but I'm sure Jaime Alguersuari, Sebastian Buemi and Jean-Éric Vergne would all have something to say about that. On Tuesday, I was in touch with Daniel for a full interview, which is already online at gpupdate.net, so definitely take a look when you can. But afterwards, well, Daniel was free for a few more minutes, and a few of you had been tweeting various questions in, so it seemed only fair to put them to him. So Daniel's with me now. I've got no idea if this is true, Daniel, but apparently you've got several cousins who are doctors in Perth. Is that true, first of all?
Who are doctors, did you say?
Yeah, apparently. That's what I've heard.
I don't know. Maybe one or two, but I can't think of several, no.
The basic question was, what was going to be the backup plan for you if the racing career didn't work out?
I mean, obviously, if any form of racing was out of the question,
yeah.
I don't know. I would have loved to have been, still involved in sports. Tennis I've always had a passion for, so I would have tried to pursue something down that road, but... if it was to end today,
yeah.
I've probably missed the boat for a lot of elite sports. So I don't know. I'll try and do something else, but I'd be lost. I'd be lost for a while, definitely.
No, not surprised. Another one we've got. How much how much input have you had into the development this season? As you obviously jumped in from Silverstone onwards.
I think definitely the first few races I was. Keeping pretty quiet and just trying to learn myself. But, I think more with my engineer, we've both grown and, developed our own car, to see us better results in the last few races. The team sprang a few little updates, but, everyone's always bringing something here or there, so it hasn't really changed too much, that overall position on the grid. But in saying that, probably the last couple of races, we've definitely been more competitive to the Virgins, and these last few little updates have helped. So always a combination of things, but more time for me in the car has helped work better with the engineer.
Yep. Okay. Next one. Does it matter to you that you're racing for the slowest team on the grid at the moment?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, an opportunity in Formula One is a huge thing, and some people say it's the slowest team. It hasn't always been. So we've managed to get up there a few times, and I came in obviously knowing what it was capable of, and didn't expect any podiums or anything. But it's a start, and all I know is the last 6 months I've learned a ridiculous amount. So I think it's been an invaluable lesson.
Here's an interesting one here. If a driver such as yourself or Jean-Éric Vergne, for example, didn't get into a Toro Rosso seat next year, what do you imagine the standard Red Bull procedure is? Is it to stick you in a reserve role at Red Bull, or put you in a race seat in GP2 or World Series?
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit like me this year. Red Bull didn't have any previous sort of relationship with HRT, but they wanted to get me in Formula One, and the seats are full, so they found a place for me there. And I think if they've got the intention of us driving Formula One, they'll find an alternative. They've got obviously a good reputation and the support to sort of get some other seats around the grid. So yeah, I think they'll find a way if they want us there.
Just two more. This one's a good one. You're known to smile quite a lot, which is fantastic. Is there anything that stops you from smiling ever?
Yeah, getting beaten.
So that hasn't happened much then?
No, I'm competitive, as anyone is, and generally I think my personality is, pretty easygoing. But when I set my mind to something and don't get what I want out of it, then the smile quickly gets erased. I can assure you of that.
Okay, there's one more. As you probably know, Mark Webber is on Twitter, and he's known as Aussie Grit. A number of suggestions have come in that you, Mr. Daniel Ricciardo, should be on Twitter as Aussie Grin. What do you reckon?
That's actually that's pretty smart. That's pretty good. I haven't thought about that actually.
The demand, I tell you, the demand for you to be on there is unbelievable.
Yeah, I have heard a bit of feedback. To be honest, I have thought about it, and I'll look into it. Maybe there's a chance next year, but I'm not really a computer person. I don't really like sitting down for long, and I know you can do it from your phone and stuff. So yeah, maybe there's a way I can do it and not bore myself out. But yeah. Potentially next year. We'll see how we go, and I'll keep Aussie Grin in mind.
Right, okay, good. You sound like Eddie Jordan there, non-Twitter man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, we tried. Thank you very much to Daniel for that. He'll be flying out to Abu Dhabi today. Now, you heard us talking there about Eddie Jordan, and you probably know, if you're a regular BBC viewer, that Jake Humphrey's been using their outputs all season long, and last year for that matter, to convince Eddie Jordan to join Twitter. Well, I last spoke to Eddie in July this year and had to have a go as well, of course, so I'll leave you with this little soundbite from Eddie. Eddie, I was just going to ask, there's been a few fans asking again, can we exclusively report now that you're going to be joining Twitter?
I just heard it before. I'm a non-Twitter man. I'm a rock and roll man.